Hello there, welcome to the Green Technology video session. In this video, we are trying to learn what are the future plans. It means general approach in planning for the future. For what purpose this planning? It is very clear that in the last video session we have seen the reduction of the carbon at global level. Means we need to reduce at the independent, that means each country have to give the contribution to reduce the carbon emissions. So that we are going to see, we are adopting certain kind of the measures here. We will see at the country level, at the global level. So there we can see the planning for the future. So it is safe to assume that. So it is very clear. Already the climate change already it started. The climate change will occur in spite of the best efforts even though you are giving. So the climate change is started in our nature. So then even though we started to reduce the carbon emissions, we are reducing, but we unable to give it back. So that means it's unable to take it, that reaction the back. So then rather than it's continuing the forward direction. So the climate change, two major follow-up effects will occur. The climate instability and the sea level rise. In this, because what will happen in this case, the climate change will give the two adverse effects on the climate instability. The climate instability means here, suppose the India is certain resources, and similarly China and other countries it has. So in the climate change is going to be affecting on the rainy season and winter season as well as the summers. So then automatically the globally it is going to be suffered. Once the climate instability is going to be coming, so then automatically at Arctic and Antarctic levels that ice is going to be start to melt, and then the sea levels are going to be rising. These are all connected, interchain connected. So then what will happen, if you are going to be break the one link, automatically other links also going to be effective. So the general approach adopted world over the planning country control measures for the future of the two folds. The first, they are going to be taking the adaptive measures. The second one is going for the mitigative measures. So then in the coming slides we will see what is the adaptive measures and what is the mitigative measures. So in this case the first one is going to be your adaptive measures. So what is the adaptive measures in this case? These measures are taken individually at each country level. So it is very going to be clear. So these measures, what measures we need to take it? For the reduction of the carbon emissions into the atmosphere. So for the benefit of protecting its own people, the adaptive measures are going to be giving to the each country for the benefit of their for the benefit and protecting of its own people, to forestall the harsh ill effects on climate change, knowing that the climate change has already set and each country would like to identify what needs to be done and do its the best to help its people to manage the likely ill effect of the climate change and sea level rise. In this case what will happen, the climate change is going to be occur. So then what will happen in this case, the drought situation will come, the floods is going to become, and then the sea levels are going to be rising, the coastal areas are going to be more affected. To overcome this kind of the suffers, how we can mobilize these people to the higher grounds. From the higher grounds they are going to be suffering with the water scarcity, and the new people need to share the land and food as well as the water also. Then for this one, each country have to measure to take this kind of the measures to overcome these problems. So adaptive measures depends on the country topography, ability, affordability to undertake them. So in this case what will happen, the topography means the geometrical conditions, how it is going to be. The India has certain kind of resources, and China has, and Europe has, Russia as well as the America, they do have they are located at different geological structures. So then what will happen, every country, if they are going to be adopting the new technology, their abilities are going to be increases. On the basis also they can take the new measures, and next affordability to take them. So the measures are country specific and are taken by each country its own cost of the benefit of their own people. In this case what will happen, so the adaptive measures means it will comes to the country specific. So there is no pressure on this part, the availability of the economical resources and other parts of the other type of the resources, the country has its own rights to take the benefit of their people. So next, what is the mitigative measures? In this case, what will happen? In the adoptive measures, we have seen individual countries, they are taking the different kind of the measures to protect and to save the for the safement of their the people. At the same time, they need to follow the these carbon emissions reduction policies. So in this case, what will happen? There is going to be a watchdog is going to be there at the global level. That means each countries have their own policies, and they are going to be summarizing at their the one point of the discussion. That is going to be here is going to be mitigative measures are adopted by each country to fulfill their global obligations to satisfy common but differentiated responsibilities by meeting the protocols set by other agencies for decreasing the use of the fossil fuels, increasing the use of the renewable energy, and for developing other mechanisms for reducing the GHGs globally. So in this case, what will that they are going to be say each country has taken its own measures, but that must be meet with the global requirements. The globally we need to reduce the carbon emissions. Then each country have to reduce, and they have to put their efforts how we can reduce it and how the greenhouse gases can going to be under control. So then in this case, what will happen? Various different FD, that means forest investment plants, they are going to be investing in India for the direct establishment of the solar cell plants. They are going to be megatons of electricity they are generating from these solar cells. So that they are going to be meeting the global requirements. And the mitigative measures are also expected to be undertaken by each country as its own cost, although they are taken for the common good for the world. The targets for the reduction set earlier are likely to get revised in due course or realities of the situation faces. So in this continuation, the developing countries want developing countries want the developed countries to pay the farmers' effort and also provide the necessary technology at no cost. And the historical emissions over the past several years have caused the problems in the first place. In this case, what will happen at adaptive measures and the mitigative measures while they are applying time, these are going to be the developing countries like India. So in this case, the developed countries, they emitted lot of carbon emissions or greenhouse gases in the environment. But the developing countries, they haven't done that part because of the lack of the technology or maybe the lack of will. So then what will happen? These developing countries, they are demanding the developed countries, they have to pay to these countries regarding in terms of the carbon credits. So this is the country's issue, and we have not yet heard from the last one word on it. So what is the outset from this part? The outcome is that the planning for the futures, as we have seen that the planning for the future means here we need to reduce the greenhouse gases. So when reducing the greenhouse gases, it is not individual level they have to work from the country. So that we are taking the adoptive measures and mitigative measures. The adoptive measures are working on the mitigative measures to reach the global requirements. In that way, they are going to be setting the target. So thank you.